What a month for VR. Quest Home finally feels like home, PSVR2 picked up new PC tricks, and Horizon Worlds is about to get AI and PCs. We've also got exciting new games coming to VR, rumors of Apple Vision Air at half the price, and lots of new smart glasses incoming. What a vibe. If you're new here, I'm Tetiana from Disco VR, and I'll share all this and more in today's news buzz. Subscribe now so that you don't miss the next one, and we are diving in right now. We finally got more information on the new Star Wars Beyond Victory. A brand new trailer has dropped literally minutes ago, which you're seeing right now, and it shows a brand new game mode. Basically, in the game, you will have three distinct modes. Arcade mode, where your room becomes a holo table, top-down pod racing with branching paths for quick and replayable races, and that's something that we saw in previous trailers already. The new playset mode is a sandbox where you drop unlockable digital action figures and vehicles into your own physical space, and you can stage your own Star Wars scenes there. And the adventure mode, which is a full story campaign with a mix of full immersive VR scenes and mixed reality moments all incorporated into a single exciting story. I love seeing this kind of mixes on Quest. Amazing news for Star Wars fans is that you won't have to wait long, because this game is finally dropping on October the 7th, exclusively on Quest 3 and Quest 3S, and it will cost $19.99. Personally, I'm very surprised that there will be so much variety in this game. There's story mode, sandbox, and racing, basically 3 in 1. My only hope is that the sandbox toys and racetracks have enough depth to keep you coming back. Quest Home went from a nice wallpaper to actually useful. The new immersive home swaps rooms for a space you can move around in and finally pin windows anywhere, including in pass-through. This means your browser, notes, and music can now live where your workflow lives. Toss in better voice handling for Meta AI, like you can simply say darker, louder, or screenshot, and Meta AI will act on it. Sounds like a pretty cool update. The result is a much better quality of life for creators, reviewers, gamers, and everyone juggling mixed reality tasks. It matters because this is Meta nudging Quest towards daily driver and not just a game console. Batman is back. The sequel to Arkham Shadow is about to enter development. Camouflage nailed the first game on Quest 3 and 3S, and now it sounds like round 2 is gearing up. While this is still technically a rumor, the timing lines up neatly with Connect season. Judging by how original the first game was, I'm really excited to see the sequel, and it also has the chance to widen player agency because the first one seemed polished but guided. I wonder if in the sequel we'll get deeper detective work, more sandbox combat, smarter enemy AI, and more cool stuff. If this is green-lit, so let's watch Connect closely and see if we're gonna have the big announcement. It really matters because big IP sequels sustain platforms. A confirmed sequel keeps brand heat on Quest, reassures studios that premium VR sells, and pushes expectations for what AAA on mobile hardware should look like. When you enter Horizon Worlds, now you can simply say, "Give me a tropical bay with cliffs, palm trees, and a sunset," and boom, the desktop editor can now generate outdoor maps with these verbal prompts. And Meta says that fully conversational llama-powered NPCs are rolling out very soon. That's faster prototyping, less grunt work, and potentially wild worlds if NPCs feel responsive rather than scripted. But to be honest, I sort of expect a lot of junk with this update as well. Still, it matters because creation costs will drop, world and character iterations will speed up, and we will see more worlds ship. Still, the downside is we might need to go through more junk to find something really worthy. Remember Sony's official Steam VR driver that allows you to use PSVR2 on Steam? Well, this open source mod called PSVR2 Toolkit re-enables PSVR2 features that you actually want from this headset. Eye tracking and adaptive triggers. PSVR2 suddenly became so much more competitive as a PC VR headset. Plus, now since you don't need an actual PS5 to use it, the price point of $399 for PSVR2 doesn't seem that steep at all compared to other high-end PC VR headsets, and also considering all the cool features that you get with PSVR2 now. It matters because the more headsets we have with more compatibility on PC, the healthier the VR ecosystem will be, and and it provides better developer incentives. There are some rumors that are guiding towards the 2027 launch window for a cheaper and lighter version of Vision Pro's sibling, informally dubbed Vision Air. The claim is that this headset is going to be 40% lighter and more than 50% cheaper than the current Vision Pro. What those percentages mean is that it's going to be 400 grams lighter on head, and it should be under $1,800. Treated as an Apple event is approaching, I doubt we will get something really concrete about this headset, but hey, you can dream, right? Still, if Apple really wants to hit those numbers, then there are probably going to be some trade-offs on display, cameras, computational power, or even battery. And solving comfort and price is only half the battle, because Apple has got some competition going on here, and they need to have a clear everyday app loop beyond movies and remote desktops, since they are not promoting themselves as the gaming headset. Still, it matters because if Apple gets mass market weight and price down, then Vision will stop being the tech demo for props, and it can become a category that consumers may actually consider. Again, provided that it will introduce a real everyday value. There's an exciting new update to Ray-Ban Oakley Meta glasses. Meta glasses can now query and add your Google or Outlook calendars through Meta AI. It's a small update, but it brings a big difference. These are slipping into a daily assistant territory, and as Connect approaches, I expect tighter ties between voice, vision, and whatever SDK drops. This matters because Meta's shipping small, genuinely useful Ray-Ban features now to build daily habits, and this is ahead of Connect, where an SDK could turn the glasses into a full app platform. I told you there's lots of smart glasses, and HTC is not lagging behind. HTC's Eagle aren't VR headsets this time, but they released a lightweight AI AR glasses aimed at everyday assistance. Another data points that everyone's racing towards wearable assistants in different stacks, different bets, but they're all going in the same direction, and this is really cool. It matters because it shows that more players, big players I might say, validate this category, and developers get more surfaces to target. And it's always a win for consumers who want high tech in their lives. Let's get all the smart glasses out of the way. Rokit showed 49-gram glasses with a dual micro LED HUD, a 12-megapixel POV camera, and a ChatGPT class assistant. Think heads-up info plus capture plus AI. It's not full VR, of course, but for commuters, factory floors, or creators recording POV content, that's a very compelling mix. This matters because it means that lightweight heads-up display glasses that show glanceable info and run voice and AI helpers can deliver real everyday value, and they can be cheaper, lighter, and longer lasting without all the complexity, weight, or battery drain of full pass-through 6 degrees of freedom AR. And I think it definitely has a place on the market. Now, next one is not about glasses but about lenses, and it's about Pimax too. Pimax partnered with Hans VR, which is a VR myopia lens maker, and they launch Buy Super, Get Lenses Free incentive. So if you pick up a Pimax Crystal Super during the promo window, you'll get a voucher for prescription lenses. Those lenses are typically valued at $60 to $160, kind of depending on what kind of prescription you need. And those lenses will basically be free. The campaign will run until September 20, but they may extend it if the feedback is good. And I think that if you wear glasses, it's not simply a nice to have, it's a real comfort upgrade and the clarity that you need on day one to get a really good experience in VR. It matters because, well, it lowers the cost and it makes VR more comfortable for you. Basically, there will be fewer compromises for you if you want to play high-end PC VR and you want maximum comfort. Meanwhile, back in Apple land, if we look at the current Apple Vision Pro, Apple rolled out a late-stage visionOS 26 beta update with spatial widgets, more lifelike personas, improved shared spatial sessions, broader wide field of view video support, and a stunning new Jupyter environment. It's really cool to see these high-frequency improvements that feel almost like you get them daily. The new update to No Man's Sky, called Voyagers, lets players build fully walkable, customizable corvettes, basically flying bases. And this has been the most successful update by No Man's Sky since its release. You can do spacewalks, you can do ship-to-ship movements, and co-crew with friends. Steam saw the highest 24-hour peak of concurrent players since 2016, which reached around 98,000 concurrent players. On top of that, follow-up patches specifically mentioned VR fixes such as cockpit panels, stair teleport, camera flicker, and that should all make sessions played on PSVR2 and PC VR smoother. Now, VR still inherits some older interaction quirks works with No Man's Sky, and performance can dip on big interiors, but Voyager's meaningfully raises the VR ceiling. It matters because No Man's Sky is one of the few truly system-scale VR sandboxes, and a record player surge plus explicit VR fixes means that VR cohort grows along with the flat base, which keeps PC VR and PSVR2 support worth it. In case you missed the news, last month Meta teased 2 prototypes that exist to make you rethink VR limits. Boba 3 shoots for ultra-wide FOV, basically think 180 by 120 territory, while Tiramisu chases hyper-real clarity, which basically means eye-dropping pixel density and brightness. They're lab toys, of course, they're not real products yet, but they show Meta's radar. See more, see sharper, with fewer trade-offs. And why it matters today is because today's research is tomorrow's spec sheet. We will definitely continue to watch this space for products that will actually release. Speaking of the products that were actually released but presumed dead, a Microsoft engineer released Oasis, which is an unofficial Steam VR driver that restores Windows mixed reality headsets on Windows 11. Valve even pushed a Steam VR beta that auto-installs Oasis for Windows mixed reality users. It's only for NVIDIA graphics card, and of course as a community-driven lifeline and not a platform comeback, you should expect edge case bugs and don't count on long-term official support. But the whole Windows mixed reality family, I'm talking HP Reverb and Reverb G2, Samsung Odyssey, Lenovo Explorer, and others are all brought back to life via the Oasis Steam VR driver, NVIDIA GPUs only for now. It matters because it extends the PC VR install base and it keeps older hardware usable, which is good for access and really good for developers and players. But if you're not into Windows mixed reality headsets and would rather try something hardcore for wireless PC VR, then you should really watch my recent video reviewing Play for Dream, the wireless PC VR headset that's pushing all the limits with 4K per eye. Thanks for watching and I'll see you there.